I'll do that later. You get the coffee. Hmm? Oh, and you get me a couple of those chocolate-covered. There you go.
Mrs. Garrison will break my neck.
Yeah. Well, I'll break your neck if you don't. You look tired, Joe.
Why not? I spent 6 years in the hills bringing about a revolution. Now I find I've got another 6 years to undo it. It's a good piece of work.
Well, you have to see it when it's larger than life to get the full impact. I see it. You have to wait.
He's not like that anymore. He's an animal now.
You believe he's still like this, huh?
You read the papers. Don't you know about the bloodbath that's going on in the name of liberty? Liberty. So he can hang on to power. The dream's all gone now. There's only blood and shame now. What? No, wait a minute. Don't you believe me? What's the matter?
It's not important.
It's not important.
All right, Joe, it is important. To you. What other things are important to me? I'm married. My wife is pregnant. How about that? I spend a lifetime coming into studios, trying to create a reasonable facsimile of life, and that wife of mine is making a child. Part of me.
I'm glad, Truman. You remember the 6 months in the mountains? Remember that? Do you remember Mona?
Yes, I remember Mona.
She's dead, Truman. He got it into his head that she was plotting against him. Mona. So he sent his Secret Service. No trial. She tried to get him to see her so she could talk to him. That's all, talk. He wouldn't see her. 24 hours later, she was dead in front of a firing squad.
You remember what you said to me the first time you came and brought me to him in the hills? You said, come, live with us, understand what we're fighting for. And then make him immortal in stone or bronze. Who said that? And now you come to me a second time. With conscience and judgment and damnation. Mona. She was a very good girl.
She was very good to you. And he killed her.
That's too bad. Pretty heavy.
It's $20,000. It belongs to the revolution. Don't finish the statue.
Use your money to create things, not to destroy them.
You call yourself an artist. You call that art? To glorify murder?
That's the way he was the day he freed your country. That's the way he was that day.
But he's a butcher now!
There's a statue of mine standing right now in the Metropolitan. Eternal Youth. Have you seen it recently? It's the figure of a young woman. It's the way she was 25 years ago when I did her. And that's the way she is today. But the model who posed for the figure is a fat grandmother. Models change, Joe.
It's never going to be finished. You'll never finish that statue.
Did you see that man? Do you know what he looks like?
Yes, sir.
Could you describe him?
He was a little shorter than you were, and...
Could you describe him? You're a good boy. Get me the police, please.
How much damage was actually done?
You know, that's the frame on which I put the clay form. They make the castings from that, and the finished statue is done in bronze. That's what was broken. That's my working model. I make that and I work from it.
Mm-hmm. What do you do now? Make another one?
I could. It isn't really necessary. The ideas, the sense of the finished form are all in my head.
Is this who I think it is? You saw the man, but you won't describe him. He damaged your property, but you won't make a formal complaint against him, but still in all you want police protection, huh?
That's right.
Mr. Garrison, the easiest way for us to protect you is to catch the man who did it.
You're not after a man. You're after a revolution.
Why don't you give us a chance to begin to help you?
It's all one way, Garrison. You want protection, but you won't lift a finger to help us.
It's your job to protect me. It's my job to make statues.
Mm-hmm. Son, what did the man look like?
I didn't see him. When I got back, he wasn't here anymore.
I don't believe you, son. All right, Adam, let's go.
Do I get protection?
Well, how much longer will it take you to finish this?
Weeks, months?
I'll have to check with them downtown on that protection. See what they want to do. Herb, you stay here until we figure out a permanent relief, or whatever they intend to do. Mitch, you're relieved, thanks. I hate politics. When you inject politics into a situation, you're not dealing with the facts. You're dealing with opinions. Everybody's opinion against anybody else's.
What do you think? Do we handle this, or we turn it over to the CIA or the State Department?
I don't know whether it's our business or whether it isn't our business. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to them downtown and let them tell us what to do.
Well, I got a description. 5 minutes before we got here, a lady told me she saw a man come out of the building. He was wearing a dark overcoat, no hat, and black hair. Took a look at his watch, shook his head, and then started to run down the street. She didn't think anything about it at the time because it looked like it was a man late for an appointment. Well, I know I wasn't announcing the millennium, but I didn't think I was announcing the end of the world either.
Where'd you get that from?
The look on your faces.
I've never been happier in my whole life.
Me too.
I'd never believe it.
Hard to get, hard to give away.
You know, I was sitting in the subway, and I was figuring how much it cost to bring me over here. Fare, room, clothes, food, cigarettes, toothpaste, $1,868. A lot of money. For nothing. I told him about Mona. You know what he said? He said, too bad. You hear that?
Too bad. Stone men make stone figures.
Yeah, but I remember in the mountains, just before we came down and took the Capitol, a Jeep got stuck in the mud. Well, We got a horse and a rope, but the horse kept slipping, and the Jeep stayed stuck in the mud. Well, it was holding up a whole column of trucks, you know. It was blocking the whole road. Well, Garrison was sitting in one of the trucks. He was sitting there just watching. He got out and he came over. He laid his hands on the rope, and he and that horse pulled together. They got the Jeep out of the mud. Well, Garrison, he just stood there and laughed, and he hit that horse on the flank, and he hollered, "Hey, horse, you know, you ought to go back and learn your business." Well, I want to tell you, I had a feeling of such love for that man that day that I want to go home. Just as soon as we can make arrangements.
I thought maybe, since he knows how hard it is for us to get money, maybe he'd know how badly we want him to stop once he saw the actual money.
Now, did you really think that if you waved $20,000 in front of his nose, he's going to follow like a jackass following a carrot? I want to go home.
I don't think you can go home yet. We'll try a little pressure first.
Copies we make?
6,000 of these.
Round the corner. Stop here. That's good. Lieutenant Parker, please.
Lieutenant Parker. Yeah? Uh-huh. Okay, thanks.
I was wondering how we were going to make the identification.
That's simple enough.
Take it easy. Let him call the shots. Remember, this guy's sticking his neck out to give us information.
Yes, sir.
minutes after 2.
That's what I have.
Mine's 5 minutes slow.
The man who had the fight with the garrison is a Joseph Irona. He's living at 467 East 43rd Street, apartment 2C. We have a particular situation here. Irona is in this country on a false passport. We don't want to know about it officially. We'd have to deport him. He'd be executed in 24 hours. So our position is hands off pending future developments.
And what you're saying is, here's Irona's address, but don't do anything about it.
Unless you absolutely have to.
How are we going to protect Garrison with our hands tied?
I know it's a lousy situation. I don't want to pull rank, but as far as I know, the most important thing now is that Irona does not get killed. Please don't turn around. There's a girl watching you. Is anyone meeting you here?
Frank, can you take a look?
Go ahead. Casually.
It's Lib. It's his girl.
Bad luck. I'm sorry, she's very pretty. That always attracts attention. As fast as you can, please. I have a lot more to tell you.
Well, New York is a small place, isn't it? I'm just on my way to a reading.
I can't talk to you because I'm working.
He an informant?
In a way, yes. Don't look at him, though. He doesn't want to draw attention to himself. I'll quote him. Quote, "Please ask her to go away. She's a very pretty girl. Ask her to go away, please, because that always attracts attention." End quote.
Well, the next time you come to dinner, bring your friend along and we'll sneak him up the back way.
I'll call you later.
It's too bad I'm not wearing my new hat. Imagine all the attention I would
I miss you.
Why don't you come watch me work at the studio? I've asked you 100 times.
You won't let me kiss you while you work, that's why I don't come. Now, what's wrong with my kissing?
Well, you need more practice.
Welcome home.
I am pleased to be here. What'd you do today?
I went to the doctor.
What'd he say?
He said I was going to have a baby.
To my son.
Or daughter, as the case may be.
No, to my son.
You take what you get.
To my son's mother.
To your wife. The phone rang this afternoon, and when I answered it, the man at the other end said, "Tell your husband he's making a statue of a murderer." Then about an hour later, the doorbell rang, and when I opened the door, there was nobody there, but this mimeographed page was lying on the floor. An open letter to Kermit.
I know, They sent it to the studio. I saw it. They knew I wouldn't be here. Break their necks if they annoy you.
You could do it too, couldn't you?
These are detectives.
we come in?
Why can't you see me in my studio tomorrow?
I'm afraid it can't wait.
My wife is pregnant.
Mr. Garrison, we came to give you formal notice that from here on in you have a 24-hour police guard here and at your studio.
Why here? Yes, I saw one there.
One of these was stuffed under every apartment door in the building. Some of the tenants complained. The landlord called us.
We also received a request this afternoon for permission to picket and hand out printed matter, both here and at your studio. So you can see, Mr. Garrison, this is going to attract a lot of public attention.
It also means that every crank that doesn't seem to agree with you is going to be stirred up. And you can't tell what a crank's going to do. They take a shot at you, make a bomb, anything.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Garrison, would you please do whatever your God asks you to? Now, there may be times, perhaps, when you think he's going a little too far to protect you. But believe me, he's an experienced man. He won't ask you to do anything unless it's for your own good.
All right.
Oh, may we also have permission to tap your phones?
Why?
Well, you'll be getting a lot of crank phone calls. And we can do a much better job protecting you if we can monitor those calls.
All I want is to work.
We'll be as unobtrusive as possible.
I'm not ungrateful. That was about was...
I don't want to know. It was a threat. I don't want to know.
All right, I'll take care of everything. What's that?
He kicked me, that's all. He's kicking all over the place lately, restless, I think. You really want this baby, don't you, Kermit? You know, like everything else, it's never as simple as you like to think. Oh, diapers, waking up in the middle of the night, and worrying about them when they're sick, and caring so deeply, and you might lose them.
What?
Well, suppose there's some trouble that happens. Sometimes you have trouble with your creations, Kermit. This is the only child we'll ever be able to have.
He's going to be awfully spoiled.
The doctor tells me it may be a little tricky, the birth. He wanted to talk to you about it, but I told him I wanted to tell you myself. I want you to promise me that if there's a choice, if the doctor comes to you and says, I can save your wife or your child, but not both, I want you to promise me you'll tell him to save the child. Now, I want you to promise me. You can always get another wife, but I want you to have my child. That's what I want.
What are you going to do with yourself today?
I'm going shopping. Then home to take a nap, and then out to do some more shopping. And then this evening I'm going to pick you up at the studio.
With the policeman, huh?
I told you yesterday was an accident.
I heard you. You fool around like that one more time, I'll break your neck. You get in the cab, he rides with you.
You told me. I'll pick you up this evening, at the studio.
With the policeman.
With my policeman.
Hey! Take care of her.
Dictator! Guys to the dictator! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Listen, you're a rotten person. Why don't you give in? What do you think you are, an absolute dictator? Give me what the people want. Don't you believe in a democracy?
What do you make? I make statues! I make statues! I make stone shop! What do you make? You know what you're talking about?
See, I want you to believe in a democracy. Give the people what they want and give in!
I make statues!
Believe in democracy!
What do you mean?
You're a rotten person! You're an absolute dictator!
Mike, you gotta call this thing off.
Don't you think I wanna? I've been trying to get that permit revoked since last night.
This thing is getting out of hand, Mike. We had a heck of a time getting the man in his studio, and we're very lucky that somebody didn't get seriously hurt. This keeps up, somebody will get seriously hurt.
I do what I want! I'm an artist, not a politician! Go home! Get your dirty politics with you! And after you're dead and you're gone, I'll be remembered for my statue!
Get that man inside. Right now. Give me a hand, will you? All right. Now, quiet down there. Come on. Give me a little quiet here. Now, you listen to me. This kind of demonstration is out. You understand? Huh? Any more of this and I'll have the fire hoses down on you. What's the matter with you people? You come down here to teach this man a lesson in democracy, and you behave like the worst bunch of stormtroopers I ever saw in my life. You're here by the grace of the city of New York. You've got a license to be here. But if you abuse the privileges of that license, it can be revoked. And it will be revoked. All right. Now, all of you who have a license to be here, get back on that picket line and obey the laws. And those of you who don't have a license, get out of here. All right, you policemen, round them up. Anybody that doesn't have a license, out.
Mike, you haven't been here the way I have, but this thing is bubbling up more and more every day.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Now, one of these days, it's going to boil over.
Go fight City Hall. Don't tell me what's going to happen. Go talk to public opinion. According to public opinion, Both Garrison and his statue stink. So they're going to picket him. Why not?
Isn't there somebody we can reach that'll make some sense? Somebody we can bring down here and let them see it for himself? Papers?
All of them. It's my error. The whole thing. Absolutely wrong. We're turning him into a public hero. We're publicizing that statue. Making it into something important. I don't like killing any better than you do.
Kind of quiet, huh? Well, if they were going to add their usual evening ruckus, they'd be adding more pickets by now.
We'll see, Frank.
You better hurry, don't miss him. This guy works like a clock. He comes on time and he goes on time. Tick-tock. No wonder that guy quits on the split second. His wife is a mighty pretty girl. 5 more minutes and this day will be over. Maybe we'll have a quiet one for a change.
I've got 80 reserves on alert. I still hope I don't have to use them.
I hope not.
Get there, get that man!
Up there, Mike!
Stay away from me!
This is Parker. Yeah, Parker. Get those reserves up here right away, will you? Right away!
by myself.
I'm on duty to protect you.
Protect me against what? What loss is there that you can protect me against? What is there to lose? You can protect me against.
Somebody tried to kill you. We haven't caught them yet.
Going up to my studio.
I'll go with you.
I want to work.
Okay. I'll wait down here.
Suit yourself. Congratulations. You just killed my wife and child.
War is always cruel.
War?
You think that's any less of a weapon than a gun or a knife? You know what will happen when you're through with it? He'll take it and he'll make 10,000 copies of it wherever you go. In the town squares, in the plazas in the great cities, in front of the post offices in the country towns. He'll be there, looking out, shining with an inner light that you gave him. And he'll rob them, and he'll murder them, and he'll steal the dream behind the mask that you're making for him. And you'll be his partner. Turn around, I don't want to shoot you in the back. Turn around! Who are you to turn your back on me? I was a poet and I gave up my poetry. I was a boy and I gave up my boyhood and I gave up my innocence and I gave up sleep, easy sleep. Now I dream of hands washed in blood So who are you to turn your back on me? You keep working on that statue. You can't keep working on that statue! Do you hear me? You can't keep working on that statue!
This is no dictator. This is something I made. It's just a face I made. I'm gonna make it again. You talk to me about cost. How you gave up your youth, your innocence. For those poems you never wrote. This cost a woman and a child. You talk to me about what you gave to your country. This is for the whole world. Not because I made it, but because art is always for the whole world.
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.